This guy looks familiar. I'm pretty sure we've played before.
During this time, saying because all of these young quarterbacks kind of get an idea of what their franchise thinks about them as well, by the moves that they make. Now, obviously, we want to see some offensive linemen come through for the Chicago Bears, but to go out and get a weapon, a position of need, and we talked about this. We saw the trade for Chase Claypool, so they make it clear that they want to try to get Jeff the field the weapons that he needs in order to make it and move further along. Y'all on the same. But if you don't think that Jackson Field can't be Jalen Hurts, you ain't watch the football. If you don't think he can turn into that based on the system around him and having the right pieces in place, you're kidding yourself.
Marcus, I said this morning, and this isn't a take show, but I think he's going to play MVP level football for the next 2 years. At least for getting in that 2-year window. I love these games. But I'm playing the game kind of so while I do love the trade for Chicago, and I love DJ Moore, I do think there's some missed opportunity today for some offensive line pieces. Now, they took Braxton Jones and I think the 5th round last year at left tackle, up and down rookie year, and at right guard is Kevin Jenkins, who was their draft pick a couple years ago in the 1st round. He's playing guard and tackle from Oklahoma State. This is what I'll say. They just signed Nate Davis, an interior guard from the Tennessee Titans. I absolutely love that. So we're talking about a team that has added DJ Moore, they've added some draft picks, they've added Nate Davis. If Braxton Jones develops, I think they need
have 9th overall. Just something quickly. You think they go line up for 3rd?
I know the defense is a bad unit, but I'm sitting here. I still think they need a right tackle, and I still think they need a center. If we're going to sit here and say, not only let's evaluate something, let's give Justin a chance to play. They want to do that. I want a tight end in the draft. I don't want a receiver. We talked about the tight end. If I want a tight end.
It's a deep tight end class. There's a lot there. Yeah. Well, makes a lot of sense. And you had that decent old lineman that can get it, that 9th overall pick. It could be immediate difference makers.
Totally agree. That's a great spot to take an offensive tackle.
God, seriously.
Talk about the coming weeks. Dan, I hear you, but there's a lot of free agency left. There are still guys out there. There are guys that are going to be released. So I think that there's still work that the Bears can do. They have a lot of money.
Unless you're going to move Braxton Jones to the right side, that's the only reason you get Orlando.
Are Cronin is confirming that Davis was signed by the Bears, so that's good. Hey, by the way, I think when we see you here tomorrow on NFL Live around the same time, we'll have some Aaron Rodgers news to talk about. I think by that point. Anyway, keep it on the ESPN for a little later. See you tomorrow.
You're watching the ESPN Tournament Challenge Marathon.
Welcome into the Jay Phillips High Bracket is better than your back bracket. Special. Christy Wilson alongside this guy who you so respect, Jay Phillips. That you typically go 94 feet with players. So since you're the guest of honor, we're going to go 94 feet with you as we lead into the show. Just ask me bracket questions. First, who has the easiest path to the Final Four?
I think Alabama got a really good call.
Okay. Who has the toughest path to the Final Four?
I think the West is the toughest region, and Virginia. Bulldogs, really good.
Okay. Most likely going to be my Miami Hurricanes. All right, most outstanding player pick.
Zach Edey was up for Purdue.
Okay.
Even though I think he's making upset. Zach Edey is the best player.
Okay, and I know you like rap songs. So if you were to do a rap song that encapsulates the entire college basketball season,
I would go Fallen by Summer Sign, Winter Two, That's what makes it good.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so what is the number one pick?
Don't think too much.
Just go with my pick.
Where does it come from? That insatiable hunger, the all-consuming passion, the breathtaking rapid, or fuel to the top.
2 to 3. He's got to hit 3 before I hit 2.
Jay Billis, my bracket is better than your bracket special.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the field of 68 is set as we know. But before we get to the nitty-gritty, I just want to ask you, conference tournaments are over, regular season obviously is over. What is your biggest takeaway when you look at the bracket?
Well, I think the number 1 seed, some of them have tougher paths than others. And the West is a really pretty good indication. When you're filling your bracket out, penpom.com is a great place to go for offensive and defensive efficiency. And one of the best measures for Final Four teams in the national champions, are they ranked in the top 20, maybe top 25 of both offense and defense? Because some teams are in the top 10 offensively, and they're barely in the top 100 in defense. Those aren't the ones you typically want to go with, because they may not hold up over the whole course of the tournament. You can obviously win a game or 2 based on your offense, but if you can't defend, or if you only defend, you're not going to get quite as far. So I'd recommend that to people.
Okay, we'll talk about the West a little bit later. Let's go over to the Midwest region. Houston is holding it down as the 1 seed. How do you see this?
Well, 60 is only beating the 1 and 1, and I was UNBC beating Virginia in 2018. But Houston's better than Northern Kentucky. Darren Horn's done a great job with that program, that team. They play a lot of zone. So that could be a factor for Houston, but because Houston offensive rebounds so well, even without Marcus Sasser, if he wasn't able to play, Houston wins that game. Then Auburn and Iowa is really interesting. Auburn's really good defensively. Broom is an excellent rebounder and interior scorer, but Iowa plays multiple defenses. They'll switch defenses on you in a heartbeat. Brandon Crawford's team, and Iowa can really shoot it. Auburn doesn't shoot it. So I think Iowa advances there. If Auburn advances, Houston has to play them in Birmingham. It doesn't seem particularly fair. Then you go Miami-Drake. I know Miami is a special place in your heart. And if Miami were healthy and there were no concerns, Norchad O'Meara, their big guy, who transferred in from Arkansas State, is a double-double guy on the interior. He got hurt with an ankle against Duke. Don't know his status, whether he'll be 100%. Drake is really good. Their best player, Tucker DeVries, can get you 30 in a game. He reminds you a little bit of a Doug McDermott type player. I'm not saying he's Doug McDermott, but he's NBA good. He can, and I think will play in the NBA. Their point guard, Roman Penn, is excellent. And when you combine a star with a great point guard, I think Drake's gonna take that game. I'm gonna pick that as an upset.
Okay.
And I would recommend that one if you feel it. Then Indiana, Kent State. And on the surface, you'd say Indiana, they got Trace Jackson Davis and their point guard,
Single
Kent State
fine.
is really good. They've got a player, Spinster, who averages about 18 points a game. 4 of his last 5 have been over 20. He had 36 in the game, 26 in the final of the conference tournament. I'm actually picking Penn State here to go on. So we have a 13-12.
Yeah.
There's going to be some craziness in my bracket at least. And then because of Tucker DeVries and Roman Penn, I would put Drake in there to play against Houston in the Sweet 16. Houston is just so good defensively. They're so good with their offensive rebounding. It's not nice when they don't shoot it well. That's a little bit of an issue for Houston. But, they only lost 3 games on the season. They were Final 2 years ago, they were Elite 8 last year, and I don't see them underperforming in this tournament.
Of course, we have to wait and see how Marcus Sasser is doing with his groin injury. All right, let's go to the bottom of this side of the bracket. We have Texas as the 2 seed. Rodney Terry been doing great for them as the interim head coach. What do you see? How do you see this right now?
I like Texas because their guards are really good. Kyrie Leonard is really starting to play much better along with Marcus Smart. Jimmy Allen was out for the Big 12 tournament. If he's back, Texas has the personnel to beat Colgate. Colgate has 5 guys in double figures. Matt Langle's done a great job with that program. They're a really good team. They shoot 50% from the field, 40% from 3. They gave them the 15. I still think Texas moves on. Then Texas A&M, Penn State. Texas A&M, of course, is Harrows. They're really good defensively. They're tough. But Penn State has a player, Jalen Pickett, that averages about 17 points a game, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. He's a playmaker, and they're really step around. Seth Lundy, Andrew Funk, those guys can make shots. And Penn State has been playing really well. They got to the final of the Big Ten tournament to play against Purdue and gave Purdue all they wanted before losing. So I like Penn State to move on there to play Texas. Kennesaw State, a couple years ago, 3 years ago, they don't want to win one game, but they're playing against Xavier. And Xavier is really good offensive. Sule Boom transferred to Utah. He's their leading scorer, very dynamic in the point guard position. They've got one of the best wings and the most underrated wings in the country in Colby Jones. I think Xavier's going to win that game. And Xavier's had Zach Fremantle out. I still think Xavier wins. They're not great defensively, but they're great on the offensive end. And then Iowa State against the winner of Mississippi State and Pittsburgh. I think Iowa State is going to advance there because Iowa State's just so tough defensively. They can get stuck a little bit scoring, but Gabe Coucher, when he's hitting shots, I think Iowa State moves on there. Although Pittsburgh can cause them a lot of problems because Pittsburgh shoots it from multiple positions, and Jamarius Burton, one of the best downhill drivers in the country. It's always disappointing to see, these 11 seeds having to play in the play-in game. Because you see the teams at the end of the line. You can't pluck people out of the middle of the bracket. It's actually not fair to Iowa State to play a team that's already lathered up and ready to go. But I actually think Xavier, because of their offense, is going to beat Iowa State in there. And then I like, even though Texas got a really brutal draw.
Oh my God.
I think they're
Throw the
playing really well.
dart.
Terry, who took over for Chris Beard, now the coach at Ole Miss. I think Texas is going to move on there and get to the Sweet 16 to play Xavier.
All right, so let's stay in this region and go over to the Sweet 16. So we have Houston and Gerwyn, Xavier and Texas. Who do you have winning out in these matches?
I think the main end here is great, the Cinderella run. I give them multiple glass slippers to make it to the Sweet 16, but I think Houston, with their strength, their offensive rebounding, the rebounding in general, and Marcus Sasser should be back by then. And I think and Texas, Texas big guys are playing. Who was the leading rebounder at Vanderbilt in the SEC before he got injured. I think he's finally back to the old Dylan Dessou. He's playing with abandon, and I think Texas moves on there because of their balance and the fact that they're so athletic and they're significantly better defensively than Xavier.
All right, two teams that are pretty close to one another, about 4 hours away. Throughout the show, by the way, we're going to have some friends stop by and give their thoughts about Jay's bracket and Jay's bracket. Of course, here is
And now we bring in the great Scott Van to tell us everything we need to know about the bracket and everything we need to know about his bracket, more importantly. And Scott, first of all, thanks for joining us. But what was your first takeaway? And it's got to be Maryland related. Your first takeaway from the bracket.
All right, so I believe in transparency, which I said to my guy Stanford Steve on our podcast last week. It's just a way of saying I'm going to tell you the truth, and I want extra credit for it, right? Here's the transparency. They put Alabama up 1, and I just said, please not Alabama. And there's Maryland, the first 8, and I'm like, God, no, please not West Virginia. And I just put my head in my hands, because playing Augie's guys is such a pain in the butt, because they're going to aggressively guard you before you win. That's a physical, tough team. And if you win that, then you presumably play Alabama. And I thought, well, what a fun weekend. But look, you never take for granted seeing the team you root for on the line. And there the Terps are. So I'm excited about that. It's just the two teams I didn't really want to play are right there in the path if Maryland is able to win. So that was my initial reaction. The very first 3 teams I saw, I had my head in my hands and I was pumped.
Well, after you got out of Terp territory, when you looked at the rest of the bracket, what stood out?
I tend to look at the 2s and like them a lot. I don't feel like Texas got much of a reward for winning the Big 12. You could argue that A&M is wildly undefeated, but then I believe at first watch, I think Penn State's favored. And that's a Penn State team that's played really well lately. But I tend to like the 2s. I like Arizona. I love what Marquette has done. Shaka's team to sweep that really a rugged league, regular season and tournament champs. That shows you a ton. And I like Texas. I love what they have done. Sticking together from start to finish in an incredibly tough league. I guess, Jay, I'm leaning into what this season has been, where we've seen more number 1 and number 2 ranked teams lose than ever before. It doesn't seem unreasonable to presume that would continue in a 1-out situation.
What's your final 4 in the national championship?
I went
I got 2s across the board and a 3. I've got Arizona taking on Marquette. I have Texas against Gonzaga. I really believe, and you know, I've said this all year, them not being undefeated, them not having a one next to their name, I think they don't have anybody talking about them. They just beat the crap out of a good St. Mary's team in the West Coast Conference Tournament final. And I think that they're unencumbered with all of that talk. And I like them getting there. I like Gonzaga against Arizona for the title, and I like Arizona to win the national title.
Scotty, that's big. Arizona winning the national championship. That'd be the first Pac-12 team to win a national championship since Arizona did it in 1997.
We'll love the West Coast here. West Coast, I like it. Keep in mind, this is just stream of consciousness. I'm just making it up as it goes. And I reserve the right to say I never said this.
Well, my bracket is Costanza-like, because if my instincts are always wrong, going the opposite way just has to be right. Scotty, can't thank you enough for being with us, buddy.
You're the best. Appreciate you, Jack.
Coming up next, Stephen A. Smith joins the show, weighing in with his final 4 picks, and tell Jay why his bracket, of course, is in fact not better than everyone else's. Plus, Michael Wilmot will join us to share his bracket thoughts and insights, whether or not he feels like there will be any first-round surprises, and who is going to Houston.
My picks are better than yours. Who do you think you're talking to?
Childproofing is hard, so we made one thing simple.